Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in front of us we have the Tier 10 Chinese Tech Tree Medium, the WZ-121. And in the latest update of the game, the 121 got rather substantially buffed, at least if you ask me. First of all, the alpha damage on this vehicle went from 420 to now 440, making it the hardest hitting medium in Tier 10. Not only does this thing hit incredibly hard, it's still got to keep reactive armor, tungsten, which allows it to hit even harder while also reducing the damage it receives in return. If that wasn't enough, it also got an armor buff, gaining about 7 millimeters on the upper plate, which angled is more like 15 millimeters, and it also got a turret armor buff, now gaining, I think it was like 15 millimeters of turret armor, enough that you're not really going to pen this thing reliably, even with gold shells through the turret, which is obviously quite nice. So we're going to see what we can do here. Our Sheridan gets a shot, misses the shot. Boom, look at that, 491 into the 116 F3. That is an absolute juicer of a shot into that player. So what are we going to do? Well, 4005 gets shot by the Sheridan, and I'm going to try and move over towards the... Oh, what the heck? Well, we get a nice shot into the enemy 263, and we back up, so that's pretty good. I don't really want to poke the 263, though. That's not a necessarily fun tank to poke, as you can imagine. What the heck just shot me? Ah, we got a Caro back there. How fun. Okay, well, our Sheridan is pushing the STB, and probably wouldn't be a bad play for me to drive behind this STB. Ooh, 635 HE. Holy juice balls. What the absolute heck. We got our adrenaline cooking, and boom, 498 clear into that player, and they're out of the game just like that. Okay, well that Caro on my flank is a real pain in the butt, because I can't do anything about the Caro when my team is just going to sit here and do nothing in return. But we're getting this guy bled out, so that's nice. Okay, and he hits that. He's that good. Let me guess, the Caro? Yeah, of course, the Caro is still sitting there doing literally nothing, bro. Oh, that's really frustrating. We're gonna die, potentially? Not yet, but it is very, very frustrating to have that Caro just sit there and, like, sniffing me the entire time. Oh, and the 116 is pushing up. Okay. We're still alive. The 263. Boom! I was gonna say 400, but we actually low-rolled that quite a bit. But we're still doing pretty good here. We've done a lot of damage at this point. 263 is kind of just waiting for me. I don't really want to poke that. I don't have the health to get away with poking that. Kampfpanzer is going to YOLO. I'm going to move over here. Yeah, Kampfpanzer just killed himself, so good job, I guess. But yeah, we're going to head all the way wide. I don't know if the 263 is still waiting there or not. I guess. Oh, there's the enemy Caro. Bye-bye! Nice, so that puts us over 3,000 damage, and there's only one tank left, which is the 263. This was a pretty decent game, really, to showcase where the 121 already kind of dominates, right? I mean, that alpha damage allowed me to roll 630 into the rear of that STB, and that's because the high explosive alpha was also nerfed on this vehicle, going from, I think it was like 500 to now 540. So with tungsten, you can reliably roll over 600 damage with your high explosive. Not only that, but with the alpha damage going up in general, I can now roll like 500 damage with my tungsten on average. I can actually tell you exactly what the roll is with the 121. So, let's see. Tankopedia, medium, tier 10, 121. So with its 440 alpha using tungsten, you have 506 average damage. Yeah, that's what you can roll when activating tungsten. I mean, that's crazy. And it increases your DPM by 479 to 3,676. And then, if you're running adrenaline, you can get over 4,000 damage per minute with the 121, putting both on at the same time. So, yeah, this thing it's really scary. I mean, you saw us kill that 4005 just plopping on our tungsten and taking them out of the game. And the thing is, the 121 is also very fast. It's not a slow tank, even in the slightest. It can achieve a top speed upwards of, like, what, 56 kilometers per hour? It's got a really good power-to-weight ratio, and you can see us using that power-to-weight right now, already over 50 kilometers per hour. I really think that the 121 is potentially one of the best tier 10 mediums right now. I do think so. I mean, look at how fast this thing is, bruh. It's crazy. So we are going to move all the way up here, and we're going to chill in this position. There you go. We have the enemy 268 version 4 spotted, which we got a 469 damage shot into. And, oh, you got the enemy Eric Concept 1 over there. I'm going to aim in on the 268v4 again, get a pen into him. It's 2 shots, not too bad, and my team does appear like they're actually making their way over here, which is also quite nice. Let's wait for the V4's reactive to wear off, so we can get another pen. We've taken 1,200 HP off of that poor guy. I don't really think he's been enjoying our company. We're going to put on my tungsten. Boom! 494. God, that hits hard. Alright, well, let's reload. Let's aim it on the T30 again, and... Aw! But we get a bounce from the 183 for 950, so... Not too sad. Alright, let's see. We got the T30 still over here. And boom! 509! That's just so insane, being able to roll that hard with a single shot. So, the Eric doesn't really want to fight me. There's the 183, still sitting in the back. Let's aim it on that 183. Boom! Low rolls, but still 390 damage. Clearly, our 263 is not the smartest, because they just kind of get nuked there. We're going to poke the Eric. Boom. Nice 400 damage shot. And, yeah, they're dead. Alright, move out of my way. So, we got, what, the 183. We got the Yo. Let's aim it on the 183 really quickly. And, boom. There you go. 480. Oh, my God. I swear if I get shot because my teammates get in my way. Like, ain't no way, bro. Alright, well, the 183 shoots. He's dead. We're already up to 3,400 damage. Definitely a better game than the last one for farming potential. Okay, so we got the 704. Gotta be a little careful here, but not super duper careful. Ooh, 504 into the lower plate of the Destiny. They're out of the game. And just a little bit of reloading left, and, well, both of our teammates bounced to Destiny. But because this thing has such a quick aiming time, we can still slam the shell right into their lower plate and take them out of the game. So we got the Super Conch in front of me, and the Super Conch, as most of you are aware, lost its reactive. And we just got a huge shell, 514 damage, and with this thing's 540 HE alpha, oh my god, 600 roll into the rear of this Super Concher. Loading again, and oh, another 416, 5,800 damage. This was a farm and a half. Whenever I get a game like this, it's just so free. You get to the medium flank, you dominate it, and, like, what do you do to counter it, you know? You roll 510 damage when you activate Tungsten, and it's just, it's crazy. We actually didn't even ace it with a 5,800 damage game, and this thing does have a decently high XP bar to 3 mark at 260 XP, so, yeah, not too bad at all. I am really surprised that we didn't end up acing that game, because we did a lot of damage, we supported our team quite a bit. It was a little bit of a shocker to not, at least get an ace there. Now, when it comes to the armor of the 121, it's pretty dang impressive now. We can see this is the armor profile. So the turret is about 260 thick against AP, and that means you're going to need about 270 millimeters of pen to cut through this thing's turret on flat ground. If it's using gun depression, it's even a smaller point of pen, as you'll notice. Like, the 121 has pretty good armor. It's nothing, like, insane. You can still cut through the upper plate and the hull if you know where to aim and what you're doing, but it does get pretty good bounces when you're hiding that hull, especially like in that last game you saw. Even the 183 bounced off our turret. The thing is pretty impressive in that regard. So what we're going to do is I'm going to head over towards base D, and we're going to get fully wide here. I think that'll be a decent play to make. They have 4 heavies, 2 tank destroyers, and 1 light, being a WZ-132. I'm not going to focus on capping the base right now. We're just going to focus on digging wide, and, oh great, we got a 2 and 5B. Well, there you go. We get a nice shot into the enemy 183, and we reload, aiming in again, and there you go, 183 bounces me. Of course, dude, of course, but their second 183 shoots me for half my health. How fun. You know, I should have known. I should have known that I'm not allowed to have fun in this game because of 183 sitting in their back. Yeah, bro. But they're not even in platoon now, just 2 completely random 183 players. That's just so lame. That's absolutely so lame. Oh well. This is not looking good in terms of our team. The Felice gets shot, and I'm kind of hoping the player backs up, but it doesn't look like they're going to do that right now. Okay, the 2 and 5, he's kind of farming our teammate. Not really sure what to do here. Our team's refusing to move up, and I'm waiting for this guy to potentially back up, but he's just not doing that right now. So we're kind of in a real awkward spot where nobody's really doing anything. Okay, that player dies. Okay. Got the enemy Yo over here, which we miss. Alright. There's a bounce from the 183. Not too shocking. We are pretty well hunkered down here, so didn't think they were going to pen me. I can't pen that Yo at this angle, so maybe we can hit the 100. Let's see. The 100 does show me their lower plate. Wow, that is some bad RNG coming from my vehicle there. That is pretty impressive. Let's try again. Let's load a tungsten shell into the U100 turret. There we go. 499 roll. That's a pretty juicy chunk there. And as long as we stay hull down like this, should be pretty hard for that E100 to cut through me. And indeed, we do get a bounce. So 2 shots into that E100 and a pretty substantial amount of HP taken off of their tank. But, again, we still have the 2 and 5B above us, which is going to be a real pain to deal with. I got to be super careful of that 2 and 5B. We also have the Yo and the 100, which we do get a gold pen into. This is why I always run calibrated shells on my tanks. I'm still keeping an eye on that 2 and 5B. I don't have the gun depression. And boom, there you go. We do get the penning shot. 2 and 5B tries to HE me, screws it up. Sucks for you, I guess. And the 2 and 5B gets shot. I'm not too worried about the 2 and 5B right now, to be totally real. It's not the scariest of tanks. We aim it on the 100 again. Get another pen. It's pretty good. God, that 2 and 5B is a real threat, though. They are. Boom. Take that player out of the game. That's pretty good. Of course, the Yo hits that. Yep, there you go. The double shot Yo clears us right out of the game. I just can't believe that that enemy 183 was able to... Well, it's not that they were able to hit me. I mean, it was a fairly easy shot. It's just like, it's always my luck that... Oh, look, there's a 183 spotted. And, of course, they have another one behind that 183. It's just so dumb. It really ruins the fun of the game when every single battle you play has 2 183s, 2 4005s, you know. Just the classic cringe. But I don't think we were ever going to win this game. The 2 and 5B being able to dig that far corner, and then that paired with the fact that nobody on our team really did anything. Oh, well. I think we did pretty good, though. Well, let's take a look at the post-game results here. We might have done over 3K. I can't really say exactly how much we did, but I think we did surprisingly well. Yeah, 3,300 damage. We blocked 3,000. Like, the armor clearly worked when we were hull down. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to do when these are my heavies here, who are dealing, like, 600 damage, 1,100 damage, and then their heavies getting 5,400. Wargaming really overcooked the 2 and 5B. They buffed its upper plate by 20 mils, they buffed its side armor, they buffed its DPM. I'm not really sure why, because the 2 and 5B was already one of the strongest tier 10 heavies, and they said, well, let's just overcook it. Thankfully, the average player still isn't going to do very good in that tank, but when you do go up against a skilled player, it's going to be a real pain. So, let's try one last battle in the 1-2-1. We have a 62A who appears to be AFK at the beginning of this game, so that's not great. What I'm going to do is sit in this back bush and probably do nothing, because we're on Dead Rail, and Dead Rail is the worst map in the game. It's not even a question. Like, Dead Rail sucks. And look at this, my freaking 62A is bailing on me. Amazing, dude. Well, we can see every single player on their team except the M48 Patton and the E50M. What a shocker. Yep, every single player on the enemy team is detected, but the 2 mediums. And there we go, we do have the M48, which I get a nice 450 damage shot into, and we back up. Decent start, bleeding out that player at least a little bit. Yeah, what a skilled 62, dude. That's what I get as a teammate there. How fun. Alright, they take a blind shot. Oh, okay, great, that's the E50M. You know, when you get teams like this, who needs enemies, you know? Really, why do you need enemies when you get teams like this, you know? I can't fight base C, so the only play I can make is heading over towards this flank of the map and maybe pushing over here. We do have the IS-4, who is not appearing to be very skilled. There you go, nice 408 into the lower plate of that tank. We got the Kron over here, which is a pretty decent threat-a-rooney. Gonna put on my tungsten, nice 504 into the Kron. That's gotta hurt. And we reload again. 3, 2, 1. Screw it. It was close. It's actually very close. I'm going to push in. Yeah, let's move up. I don't really know what else to do here because, to be fair, they don't have any dangerous tank destroyers like the last game, so at least I don't have to worry about that. But I do have to worry about mediums and everything else still. So there's the Yo. They're aiming it on my teammate. We're going to aim it on the side of the Yo. There's a 502 shot. And we've got our adrenaline cooking, so we got decent DPM here. Okay, the Yo tracks me, but we actually hatched the Yo, so I can't get too mad. We still win that big time. And the Minnow does not get the clear. I guess the Minnow's trying to conserve their DPM, but okay, interesting decision. I guess I will also... Okay, I was about to say I guess I'll kill that player as well, but maybe not. Alright, let's aim it on the enemy Minnow. Bonk, there we go, 475. God, rolling 475 with a gold shell just feels insane. It really does. Our team is not doing spectacular right now. We have the Type 71. We have the M48. I'm going to aim it on the back of the Type, but we're not able to hit it just yet, at least. Almost, but we also have the E50 back there, which we do get a pen into. 496. That just feels... It feels nasty rolling a tank for that much damage in a medium. I mean, it really does. 508 into the M48, and all that leaves us with is the... Well, I guess I'm going to shoot the Type, and bonk. There you go. Easy clearance of the Type. 4,000 damage dealt. Pretty good game. I mean, all the games we played in the 1-2-1 were really good. The alpha damage proved itself to be very dangerous. And not only that, the accuracy and aiming time still staying the same. It's basically a buff. When you gain alpha, your DPM stays the same and your accuracy stays the same. You're literally just gaining the ability to deal more damage with no real downside, right? So, yeah, the 1-2-1 just got a whole lot stronger. And it did literally, too, because its armor got better. So, in every regard, the 1-2-1 is a more dangerous tank. I would highly, highly, highly recommend, if you are liking that kind of aggressive Soviet playstyle, this is the kind of tank you want to get. Because it has alpha, it has great mobility, it has great armor, and tungsten, it's got reactive armor. So you have every single option that you'd want paired on a vehicle that you really are going to have a hard time countering, especially now that most mediums don't feature reactive. It really allows the 1-2-1 to bleed them out so heavily. So yeah, this thing is really dangerous, and I would definitely recommend to consider picking this thing up. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you want to see more content like this in the future, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.